Just before we make our Auld Lang Synes, here's a look at entertainment for the New Year bank holiday on BBC One. And at 5:25, China takes on the rest of the world in the Circus World Championships from the Big Top in Battersea Park. There's comedy in a variety of guises at 6:25 with The Russ Abbott Show, followed at 7 by Top of the Pops and music from Status Quo, a-ha, Elkie Brooks and Alison Moyet. We'll be keeping our regular date with the EastEnders at 7:30. David Jason stars in a special edition of Only Fools and Horses at 8 o'clock. And after the main news at 9:35, we've a television premiere for the bank holiday with Bill Forsyth's highly acclaimed comedy Local Hero at 9:45. And finally, to close proceedings, the classic movie partnership of Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall at 11:35 in To Have and Have Not.
Tomorrow at 4:15 on BBC One, Nerys Hughes reads the first part of Simon and the Witch.
Fancy turning anybody into a frog? Is that a beginner's spell? Gasped Simon. Oh, yes, said the witch. Everybody turns somebody into a frog. You must have read about it. Simon was excited. The school gardener was not a very close friend of his. He'd reported Simon for playing football on the new lawn, and Simon had got into trouble. I'd like to turn the school gardener into a frog, he decided. And why not? Exclaimed the witch.
And at 5:05, some world pommelling record breakers.
Legs stay together, go over that side. Now you've got to take that hand off and put it back on. Make sure you get the hand on straight, otherwise you can break your thumb. Take that hand off over that side and all the way around. You've seen it, and your legs have got to go together in a completely clear circle over the horse. Now today, we are going to set a new world record for the greatest number of consecutive double circles.
2 programmes tomorrow afternoon on BBC One.
Programmes for Wednesday night on BBC One. In a moment, Wogan, and at 7:35 in The Muppet Show, Gonzo tries his hand at hypnotism.
See, I hypnotize him and then I can get him to do anything I want.
Well, like what?
Animal impressions.
At 7:55, Bergerac becomes an unwilling bodyguard.
No fights, please, Jim.
No, I meant to protect him.
Who from?
Wish I knew. It's a risky business being a celebrity these days, I'm told.
Now, don't forget, stay tuned after Bergerac tonight and join me for your points of view at 10 to 9.
At 9:30, Rough Justice tells the story of Stephen Spencer, wrongly imprisoned twice for a jewellery robbery and a post office raid, and now in prison for a 3rd time. Sports Night is back at 10:10 and spotlights the Scottish teams in European Cup football action. And there's a feature in which Mike Tyson looks at boxing champions of the past. Entertainment for Wednesday on BBC One.
A look ahead now to programmes for tomorrow evening here on 2. At 7:45, Network investigates shark fishing for science and sport off the coasts of Cornwall. Then at 8:15 in the book programme, the celebrated young novelist Susan Hill explains how and why she recently lost the urge to write.
And one morning I woke up and I thought, it's gone. And I don't want it to come back. And I realised that I couldn't do it.
At 8:45, Coming Along Nicely, which traces the first 4 years in the career of virtuoso violinist Nigel Kennedy, whose teachers include Yehudi Menuhin.
I think that he will mature in spurts. That is, he tends to accumulate a great deal without showing much, and then all of a sudden it takes off.
At 10:15, MASH, and an early morning surprise for Hot Lips.
No more. It's just me, man. Are you crazy?
At 10:45, Film International features Hyena's Son. A Tunisian fishing village is transformed by the arrival of foreign businessmen and modern technology. And at 20:30, the midnight movie is San Quentin, starring Pat O'Brien as the captain of the prison yard.
Put down that gun, Rogers.
Stay where you are!
Programmes for tomorrow evening here on BBC Two.
Into 8 to 6 with BBC Two and a new season of film dramas for the new year in Screen 2. Insurance Man by Alan Bennett, a story centered on the novelist Franz Kafka.
I do a very good imitation of a human being.
You're harder to see than anybody.
You are asking for a justice that doesn't exist in the world.
Frankie and Johnny. Howell Bennett stars as a journalist investigating the death of two teenagers in unusual circumstances. In a lighter vein, Honest, Decent and True stars Adrian Edmondson in a parody of the advertising business.
Mike, did you know that Graham's just one big throbbing muscle?
I wonder what it was.
Song of Experience explores the coming of age of three boys out for a day's train spotting. The Booker Prize-winning Hotel du Lac stars Denham Elliott and Anna Massey.
I don't love you,
Very reassuring.
and you don't love me.
And the Screen 2 season opens with Charles Dance in a thriller, The MacGuffin.
Is everything all right?
What do you mean?
I don't know. I imagined you might be in some danger.
Screen 2 returns next Sunday at 10:15 here on BBC 2.
Tomorrow, BBC 2 takes off into 88 with a new series of Moonlighting.
Blue Moon Detective Agency.
And David has an announcement to make.
See that lady there?
David.
I think that I have fallen madly and completely head over heels in love with her.
Why am I doing this? Why am I putting myself through this? I'd have my head examined.
Well, if you insist. Ah! Ah! That's a rather hostile greeting, wouldn't you say?
This is me telling you it's over. It's over, David. Period. I hate music.
Don't go.
I have to go.
Dance with me.
Roll, Dave. Don't you come back no more. Don't you come back no more.
Moonlighting tomorrow at 9:30, part of the new season for 88 on BBC 2.
This Tuesday, the BBC brings you another landmark in television history with the first live coverage of the House of Commons. The day begins on BBC One with the state opening of Parliament by the Queen, the procession that comes here from Buckingham Palace and all the glittering ceremonial in the House of Lords. And then in the afternoon on BBC Two, our cameras for the first time cover a live debate from the House of Commons, the debate on the Queen's speech, in which the Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition will argue out the policies the government's putting forward. I'll be there with Brian Curtoys inside the chamber and with Christopher Jones to explain the House of Commons procedures. And at 8:10 on BBC Two, Commons on Camera. I'll be talking to MPs and to a live studio audience about the impact this first day has made, and about whether it's a true reflection of the way the House of Commons works, or whether it's going to turn it into a television circus. So for the most comprehensive coverage of our democracy at work, join BBC Television this Tuesday.
Beginning soon on BBC Two, the touchingly humorous account of a young girl growing up with an extraordinary mother.
You'll be a missionary when you grow up. Will I get a different hat?
Everyone smile and think of the second coming. What a photo.
This little lily, this bloom of the covenant, could herself become a house of demons.
I'm called Melanie. Dress.
Your body is a temple, Jess. Don't give in to temptation.
I never even thought about leaving home before I met you.
These children are full of demons.
I'm not. Neither is she.
Be quiet.
Geraldine McEwen and Kenneth Cranham in Oranges Are Not the Only Fruit, a major new drama series on BBC Two.
More from the pen of Charles Dickens on Thursday night with the award-winning adaptation of Bleak House.
Tom Jarndyce. Gone.
When I first came here, it was bleak indeed. It left the signs of his misery on it.
You were born to it, Esther. To look after us all and be loved for it.
Is there anything that you want to ask me?
About myself?
Yes.
I must protect the system from those who would overturn it.
The Jarndyce case, sir. Is it about a will?
Who copied that?
The man unquestionably died of his own act.
And what kind of man was this deplorable creature?
By appearances, the commonest of common. Appearances, of course, can deceive.
Charles Dickens' Bleak House begins on Thursday night at 8:05 on 2. Returning to planet Earth this Friday.
Secret beginning to materialize.
Doctor Who, a legend in his own time, introducing a season of his most daring exploits, a retrospective study of the Time Lord in all his incarnations. Resistance is Useless at 6:50, followed by episode 1 of The Time Meddler, this Friday on 2.
They are to be exterminated. You understand?
3, 2, 1. Friday nights are go at 6. Is it the end of the road for Eddie?
Get away from there, you kill yourself! The company isn't worth it! Eddie! Eddie, can you hear me?
Meddling monks and marauding Vikings, but where's the doctor?
You see them? Of which old man do you speak?
He came here late last night. He wore clothes like these.
Do you know where he is now?
At 7:15, it's new, 100%.
Are you two planning a holiday this year?
Yeah, that's right. They went across the States, man, on Harleys, you know? Feel some space, man.
Space! What a great idea. Let's holiday in space.
Friday on BBC Two.
Be a party popper and not a party pooper.
Celebrate New Year's Eve with a special Top of the Pops 2 featuring Britpop then and now.
And then join me, Jules Holland, for the now traditional New Year's Eve Hootenanny.
A musical extravaganza with a rare live performance from guitar maestro Eric Clapton, more music from Supergrass and Dr. John, and a guest appearance from the Mike Flowers Pops.
Welcome in the new year with BBC Two.
This New Year's Eve, the party's on BBC Two.
We've got sights and sounds and marvels to delight your eyes here.
With a musical lineup of Gershwin classics.
Necessarily so.
Sparks Fly with Tap Dogs and an exclusive.
And this is the Rolling Stones rock and roll, sir.
Stones from 68.
Happy New Year!
And in 97, the guests include Paul Weller, Mick Hucknall, Manic Street Preachers, Lighthouse Family, Tony Farino, and more, all with Jules for the Hootenanny.
You're looking for trouble?
Even the King
You came to the right place.
is showing up for the party. Nobody brings you New Year's Eve like BBC Two.
1997, it's here!
Monster Night, Saturday at 9 on BBC Two.
Can man control his destiny? Can he change the shape of things to come?
Now BBC Two brings you 3 classic visions of the future.
What is the meaning of this attack?
I have led the entire human race to ruin. There can be no survivors.
It's a risk I'm prepared to take.
I was not attempting to evaluate its moral implications, Doctor.
Destroy it.
A seasonal sci-fi triple bill begins with The Time Machine, Sunday from 3:30.
All right.
In search of enlightenment.
Hurry, hurry.
Self-improvement.
How many millionaires have you actually created? Could you hypnotize me?
My name's Louis.
My name's Louis. What's your favorite constellation?
And the perfect body.
Is there a market for this? Ow! That feels quite good.
But keep it real.
My money don't jiggle jiggle.
Louis Theroux's Weird Weekends. New series starts Monday at 9 on BBC Two.
This man has persuaded Blur to do his signature tune. Damien Hirst is making him a spot picture. Saatchi's doing his advertising. He's even been in a Fat Les video. And now he's got his hands on 25 million quid. And all to look for life on Mars. The unlikely story of Britain's leading planetary scientist is told in Beagle 2, Mission to Mars, Monday at 11:20 on BBC Two.